In 2010, Dennis Daugaard was elected governor of South Dakota by convincing folks that he was a fiscal and social conservative, that he was opposed to Obamacare, and that he was skilled in ways of economic development. Nearing the midpoint of his tenure, we now see quite a different profile of his accomplishments to date. First, despite his claim of fiscal conservatism, taxes have been increased by $100 million per year on his watch. Hardly the actions of a fiscal conservative in a recessionary environment. Number two, despite the fact that South Dakota has joined in the suit challenging the constitutionality of Obamacare and Governor Daugaard's repeated statements that he is opposed to Obamacare, his administration has asked for and received $6.8 million to set up the healthcare exchanges that are integral to the implementation of Obamacare in South Dakota. In so doing, he has actively instituted the mechanism to administer Obamacare in South Dakota, not only contradicting his public statements, but also creating a crisis of public trust. Moreover, in the 2012 legislative session, Governor Daugaard sent his legion of state, that would be taxpayer-paid, lobbyists, to defeat any proposed legislation that would hinder, impede, or stop the establishment of healthcare exchanges. Hardly the actions of a governor opposed to Obamacare. Number three, in the area of economic growth and development, the Daugaard administration has awarded a $5 million contract to Manpower of Minnesota to recruit 1,000 skilled workers to come to South Dakota. A group of recruiting firms in South Dakota has filed suit in Pierre alleging that they were not advised of the request for bids. The courts will decide the legality of this issue, but the notion that the state should spend $5 million to recruit 1,000 workers seems frivolous and unnecessary, especially an out-of-state vendor. Hardly the action of a solid plan for economic development. Next, in the 2012 legislative session, Governor Daugaard also ushered through a bill to address education reform, which involves controversial incentives for teachers and may likely have the effect of increasing centralized control in educating our children. The law is short on details and long on uncertainty and unpopularity, which may result in a ballot issue in November. Finally, Governor Daugaard invested his political capital by endorsing 5 senatorial candidates in the recent GOP primary. Breaking with tradition and trying to influence the people's choice of legislative candidates didn't go well for the governor, as he lost 3 out of 5 races. Moreover, some of the candidates he endorsed could hardly be described as fiscally or socially conservative. This review leads me to believe that if Governor Daugaard continues on the path of accomplishment he has followed thus far, that he will likely find himself in a primary battle of his own in 2014, should he decide to run for re-election.